So I have a complaint about the iPhone Air that I bet you haven't heard before. It makes me feel clumsy. If I was to explain this phone in a gesture, it would be like, that is the experience of having an iPhone Air. Far from the luxury vibe I think they tried to create with it. At first it was kind of weird. I mean, I bought it because it was different. And yeah, there's some compromises, but I don't mind compromises. I'll end up getting a new experience, trying new things, starting a YouTube channel 10 years after it's the cool thing to do. Why not? After a few months, I thought if I made a video about it, that video would be like, hey, this is a pretty great phone. It's misunderstood. Y'all should give it a try. And it cured my screen time somehow. And then I realized it cured my screen time because, well, I don't really want to use it. Is that a thing a phone can make you feel? Clumsy? I'm not that clumsy. Awkward, sure, but I don't need a special rhino hide protective case to protect my phone from me. And let's be real. That's what cases are for, to protect the phones from us. Because without us, these things would survive forever. We are the menace. So my last phone was this iPhone 15 Pro. And this is a great phone. I thought this Air would be a really nice upgrade. I thought, hey, it's got a bigger screen, which I wanted to try out. It's lighter, which I really like. But then over time, it just started to annoy me here and there. I don't know how better to explain it other than to say it kind of fails in its main duty of being a holdable object. If it wasn't obvious, I'm not a phone reviewer. But think of like a banana. That's very, very holdable. Or like a pen. Very, very holdable. This, very difficult to keep hold of. The other complaints, nothing in comparison. The battery is great. Camera, it's great. Gotten some great shots with it. But its inability to be held properly, I guess it's kind of like me in that way. It's just an awkward shape. It's just too thin for its own good. I'm talking about the phone, of course. It's too big for how thin it is and having no bezels. Like where do you hold this thing? Like, it's very hard to grip. That's my point. You can't get a grip. It's just a bit too wide here to like really shove into a pocket. And when I'm squeezing it in, I'm like pressing the buttons on the side sometimes. And if I'm not, and if there is room, it's hard to grip on the side, so you're kind of gripping it on the screen and pushing it this way, and then you might activate the screen, and then if you look at the screen, it'll see your face and unlock before it puts it in your pocket. So it's often unlocked in my pocket. It's always phantom presses and squeezing it in and fumbling all over the place. Like that's what this phone is. And again, I'm not a clumsy person. It's just this phone makes me fumble. For me, I do a lot of walking around, listening to music, listening to audiobooks, and I can't count the number of times where the volume has gone to the max, or it's gone to the minimum, or it's turned off, or skipped a song, or it's lost my place in an audiobook because it's pressed some phantom things on the screen while it was in my pocket, and I was rummaging around trying to get it out. It just never disappears into your pocket like a phone should. It's always there. And I think the coolest part of this phone is how thin it is, how it feels when you pick it up, and it just feels like nothing else. But that is its flaw. When you want a screen going to edge and you don't have any sides to really grip it, even when you put a case on it, it doesn't really solve the problems with the buttons phantom pressing. It even makes that worse. So there's no way to get a good grip on this phone, at least not with my tiny mitts. Maybe if you have big gorilla hands, you'd have a completely different experience, I don't know. But even as much as like it digging into your palm because it's so thin and it's just like, there's no surface area. And think about tablets, we leave that bezel around the screen so you have somewhere to grip it. I'm not saying this needs a bigger bezel, it just needs more thought put into how you hold it and how you're supposed to use it. Or maybe my hands are too small, like I'm saying. Maybe it's a me thing. I don't know. But here's another example that's not really a me thing. I have a MagSafe phone holder in my car, and this is where I usually take my phone and go blunk as soon as I get in. It just stays there while I drive. Never been an issue with my old phones. But this, several times, has just fallen off the stand when I hit a bump or something. I'm not sure if it's because the magnets aren't as strong, or because the extra width gets it closer to my hands on the steering wheel and I bump it, and maybe the leverage helps it, like you know, say there's the stand, and I mean it does stick to MagSafe stands, no problem, but why does it keep falling off so easy? You know, like this is the 15 Pro on a stand. It just feels like it's on there a lot better. So maybe the magnets are fine, and maybe it is just my hand. I don't know, but it's ended up under the seat of my car a couple times. Thankfully, it is made of pretty strong stuff, and I don't have a scratch or a mark on it. So that's, look, you just saw there that the phone was unlocked when I picked it up. Happens all the time. And then another issue I have with the MagSafe as well is my little wallet guy, red wallet guy. He goes in the back of all my phones, and like it's hard to find exactly where it's supposed to go. I think it's too low there. I always struggle with that. And when I try to hold it, it's just too far in, so like you can't really grip them both at the same time. And the cards kind of fly out. Again, probably because I'm not holding onto them the way I would normally. As an example, on the older phone, this just goes right there, and it feels like it's barely inset, and it's just part of the thing. You just hold it, and it's held in there with your hand. Like it's just so much more grippable. This is a very good holdable object. Holdable object. Holdable. The iPhone Air, but not holdable. Be more holdable. And you may say, like, hey, just use CarPlay, or you know, use your Apple Wallet. Who uses actual physical cards anymore? Well, people have one of these. Shout out to Montrealers. If I put this on my phone, I'm trying to get this out, it's like a monkey in a marble factory. I'm just cards all over the place. You know, all this fumbling with cards and with the phone and the noise and struggling in my pockets, and it just doesn't make me feel like a cool person. I'm not a cool person, but I can use every little bit of extra cool that I can possibly get. But this phone make me feel like a fool. The right phone for me is probably the 17. It's a bit lighter than the Pros, which I still find a bit heavy, and still has some of those Pro features now, and it's about the same weight as an iPhone Air. It's just a bit smaller and probably more holdable. But you know, I'm not gonna go out and replace the phone. It's fine. It's just a phone. It still works. I'll keep it in my backpack. I'll carry it around less. It's really fine. I've been using this iPhone 12 mini as like a dedicated music player. I'm making a video on it. I should post that soon. But it's so much smaller than the Air. Just take a look at the difference. And it's much more holdable. So I think I might take this and use this as my main phone. Maybe replace the battery, because the battery in this is pretty dead. And just use it for, you know, those coatless summer days when you don't want to have much weight in your pockets. I don't carry a purse usually. So sometimes, maybe. And look how perfectly this wallet fits on the 12 mini. Like, look at that. It is like a tailored, perfect fit. I really do think this was a great size phone. Not if you want to use it as a productivity machine, but if you just need a phone, you just want to text somebody now and then, you need to download an app now and then to do something, this is really all you want. So I don't know if I'm going to keep the Air or sell it, or maybe I'll try the 12 for the summer, like I said, or maybe I'll go back to my 15 Pro, which also needs a new battery, but once I replace that, it should be fine to use for a couple more years. Or maybe I'll wait till the 18 or 19 comes out. I don't really know. Who knows? Don't think I'll be looking at the Air 2, that's for sure. And if this is what the foldable is like, if they do release an iPhone Fold, probably won't go for that one either. And you know, maybe this has nothing to do with the Air, and it's mostly because it's a big screen phone, and I've never had a big screen phone. Me, I like mini things. I have the iPad mini, I drive a mini, I'm kind of mini myself. So big things, not for me. They might be for you, and that's okay. So maybe the Air would be your perfect phone. I don't know. Does it really matter? Probably not. But I'm at least not recommending this anymore. I was for a while, and now I think it's just a foolish waste of money. I was really hoping the lighter weight and the bigger screen would just be the perfect balance for me. But it turns out with this phone, balance is the whole issue. Sleep well.